So I've been riding the KLR for a long time, but there's always been one thing that it's not brilliant at. Today, that changes. Here it is guys, new bike to the channel, 2007 DRZ 400. Let's take a look at it. So first of all, why? Why a DRZ? Well, when I brought the KLR, I was tossing up between the DR650, a DRZ, a KLR 650, among some others, maybe a WR250. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. Getting into adventure riding, I'd ridden dirt bikes before. I wasn't sure about the weight and the gearing and a lot of things. The KLR has been absolutely awesome, epic. Check out my channel. I've taken that thing some pretty gnarly places, albeit even one time I didn't quite get through, which is really what's irking me. Billy Goat's Bluff Track, I'm gonna head back there. I'm gonna take this new weaponry and I'm gonna do it. The KLR is still staying on the channel, but we're gonna take the DRZ to high country trips and we're gonna see if it holds its own against the KLR. So I went older. This cost me $4,500. I decided to go older with the mods already done. I'm still going to do some more mods to it. So let's have a chat. Let's see what it's got and what I'm going to do to it. So up here, we've got the B&B rear guard, which is going to be great for luggage. So that's one thing that I would have had to buy if the bike didn't already have it on it. We're running a 48 rear tooth at the moment and a 15 in the front. When I hit up the high country, I'm going to drive to Dargo and then we're going to unload the thing at Dargo and we're going to tackle Billy Goats. I'm going to put a 14 tooth on the front just to give us that low down grunt. I rode it with the 1448 and I just can't do highways on it. It's going to be revving at about 7,000 RPM and I don't want to make the little 400cc engine rev that hard for that long. So 15 for now and 14 when we change to go and do hard, steep tracks. One thing it was missing when I purchased it was a rear chain guard. So I got the nice CNC chain guard. It's almost too pretty for the bike. As you've probably seen, many other riders have the B&B guards up here. When you change out sprockets, some of them won't fit the stock surrounds, so that's all been changed to suit. We've got the Force bash plate. I'm going to need that when we hit up the high country and other tracks. We've got the tape running down here just to give us a bit more grip and protect the frame. One of the main reasons that sold this bike to me was the Safari tank. So we've got the 19-litre Safari tank, so we're going to be capable of doing some really long trips. We've had a bit of custom work done up the top here. The ignition has been moved over to here. We've got USB chargers. And we've also got the big car charger port. Engine-wise, we're looking at 25,000 kilometers, which isn't that low, but it isn't that high with a DRZ either. As long as you look after it, it'll keep chugging along. At some point, it had that horrendous front light taken out. And you might be able to hear that fan. It's got a nice bright LED light in it. On the front here, we've got the B&B front guard. You can just see it in there. And the Acerbis front fender bag, which has a couple of tools in it and a spare front shoe. The exhaust has a bit of a note to it. I'm not sure if it's stock or not. There's definitely no baffle in there, but we'll hear that when we go for a ride. On both sides of the case, we've got the B&B off-road protectors. Wheels and tyres, we've got the Motoz tractionators on the back and some Motoz tractionator rails on the front as well. And so the last mod is a nice decent pair of bark busters to save our hands. Alright, let's have a chat about what the plans are with this bike that I'm going to do. Right, so there's a couple of small mods I want to do, but the main one that we are going to do on the channel is the suspension. After doing the KLR suspension, I noticed a massive difference in capability and handling. So this thing has stock suspension. We're going to do 5.9 kilo spring in the rear, which we'll do ourselves. We'll get Ben, my mechanic, to service the front forks. And we're going to put 0.50s in there. Just because I always carry a lot of luggage and I really don't want to have to worry about it. But mainly it's for the handling. Suspension is number one. You have to set up your bike to the weight you're going to have. So what we'll do is we'll take this bike out to Nearham. We'll do our test tracks. We'll see how we go. We'll change the suspension. We'll go back and we'll see how we go with the new suspension. So I've already ordered two mods here. Obviously, coming off the big, comfortable KLR, I'm going to put a windshield on the front. The only reason I'm doing that, and I know some of you won't like this, is just the fatigue on the highway from your head wobbling around. It makes such a difference when you've got a windscreen. The second mod I've got here, what we're going to install, is just a small GPS. This is from Amazon. I think it was $100. We're going to hook it to the handlebars where my phone would usually go. That way I don't have to have my phone out. This will just connect straight to my phone and I can have navigations and phone calls on the go with this. Another small mod I'm going to try and install is the throttle lock. I've got one on the KLR. They're nothing special. They're purely just a manual lock. If you're going down the highway and you're holding the throttle at 100, 110 for a long period of time, sometimes you just want to let go. So you can just click the throttle lock down and give your hand a bit of a shake, a bit of a rest. Sometimes you just need to let go of the handlebars on long trips. Well, I know I do, even if it's for 5, 6, 7 seconds, just to get that hand moving around so you're not just holding the throttle locked into position. And the other big one that I know most DRZ owners are going to know is the comfort seat. I'm going to get the seat, Concept Comfort Seat. I'm not going to change the height. I'm quite happy with the height of this. Being 5'10", I can just one leg over this standing up. It's not intimidating. It's not big and wide as the KLR is. So I'm really looking forward to getting out on the tracks and feeling the nimbleness, the lightness, being 50 kilos lighter than the KLR. I'm going to be more inclined to take harder tracks, harder lines, and just feel more confident off the road than I do on the KLR. Right, so those are the mods that are coming. It's going to be a continuous build for the channel. Let's take this thing for a quick ride and see how it goes. So being 2007, choke on, key, clutch in. Not bad for a 2007. As you can hear, it does have a nice note to it. All right, let's go for a ride. All right, here we are in the traffic. I haven't ridden this thing with the 15-tooth front yet. It's definitely different. I'm still experimenting. I have lost a fair bit of low down grunt, which I was enjoying. So we'll have to wait and see. It's so much lighter just to maneuver around, and it's very rev happy. It's as you can see, the weather's not great. It is very windy, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss the wind protection of the KLR. So that's 73 kilometers an hour. We're in 5th, and she's just humming along. It was a pretty big change, the 14 to 15 tooth front. Plenty of pull though. For a little 400, I think the only difference is I'm changing gears more often than the 650, obviously. As they say, there's no replacement for displacement. I'll show you how much she does hum though. It is still quite high in the revs at 100. I'll show you up here. I mean, now we're doing 98, and you can hear it's buzzing a fair bit. But these engines are built to do that all day. So we'll try and let some traffic go. Does sound nice though. So down to 2nd. We'll even go to 1st. We'll almost stop. We'll give her the berries. There's 100 in 4th. So she is buzzing at 104, but it's not horrible. This is peak hour, but 80, 81, and it's just humming. It's just humming nicely. Cruise on up a bit. 100. It's not horrible. Definitely am missing the wind protection, but we'll get that sorted. But like a nice throttle lock, just click it right now and then just sit here. Doesn't feel unstable, feels quite good. I can tuck my knees behind the tank for a bit more wind protection, which is nice. But I'd be quite happy to cruise all the way down to the high country like this. With the 14 tooth sprocket, it was really screaming at 100. I just didn't want to put the engine through that much strain if I didn't have to. But I definitely think I'm going to have the 14 front tooth sprocket for billy goats and more of my enduro type days. But I think just for cruising around and touring with all the boys on their adventure bikes, I'll have to leave the 15 tooth sprocket on. I'm getting blown around a bit, but it's to be expected. It's almost like it's got a power band. I really enjoy it. The other thing, I keep comparing it to the KLR, but just the way I can maneuver it, it's a bit more quicker to sort of maneuver around. Definitely not low on power. There's more than enough to keep you happy there. So just up here is the little dirt track. I think people can see that light, which is handy. It's a very bright light. It's not on high beams. That LED really shines out, which is what you want. If they can't hear us, they're going to see us. But there's a dirt road down here. It's only short, and we'll only stay on it for a second because it's sort of more of a path. I just want to see how it feels on a bit of dirt. So this is our little test dirt track. Won't hang around too long because it's sort of a road, but it's sort of not. But I'll be able to tell straight away with my dirt bike background how this feels. It feels like a dirt bike. That's exactly what I wanted to. So I'll set the camera up and we'll do a drive-by. All right, let's get out of here. Well, that should tell you how comfortable I'm feeling on it already. Well, there's a new addition to Ride Road Dirt, 2007 Suzuki DRZ 400. Keep your eyes on the channel for mods, upcoming videos, the before, the suspension upgrade at Nearham, and the after, and a lot more to come. If you'd like to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee for $1 or go to redbubble.com and buy some merch. or just hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, ride safe, and I'll catch you in my mirrors.